Alright guys, Quad MFT here, back at you with another Apex Legends video. We've got a brand new update that came out today, April 7th, which is update 4.2. Now let's get right into it. So permanent duos have been added like we already knew, but unfortunately they will not be available in ranked. Respawn also said the duos has a positive effect on the game when it comes to still having some sort of team play element. Next, they go into why they didn't add solos permanently, which I'm going to read the entire paragraph that they put out for you, as you guys can see on screen. Now, what about solos? When we introduced solos as a limited time mode last year, we saw it actually negatively impact the game, especially when it came to new player retention. We've also purposely designed legends and their abilities to complement team play and squad composition, but when played solo, some legends abilities just became totally useless. These are just some of the reasons we decided not to include solo in today's update. We're still exploring ways to allow a solo experience, but for now, grab a friend or two and jump into the arena. That's what they said about solos, and unfortunately why they haven't added them yet. But then they also explain the map rotations and changes, which basically says in the rotation they'll have World's Edge, Kings Canyon from Season 2, and Kings Canyon After Dark, and ranked will continue on Kings Canyon only. Lastly, they explain why they chose this type of map rotation, but let's just get right into the entire update and what has changed. First off, Bloodhound's Newtown takeover is in full swing, so go play to check it out. Also about the map changes, I believe these will all be rotating every 2 hours or so. That's not entirely confirmed, but I believe that's what I've been hearing around Twitter and Reddit and people's experiences. And I believe Kings Canyon After Dark will only rotate in 30-minute segments, because I don't think that's going to be anybody's favorite and want to have to play on it for 2 hours or anything like that. Also, you can see more than 90% of people who watch my videos aren't subs, so subscribe if you're new. So as far as the balance changes go to weapons and legends, we've got the G7 Scout, which has a reduced headshot scale from 2.0 to 1.75 and a reduced leg shot scale from 0.9 to 0.75 and a slightly reduced projectile speed, as in like how fast the bullets move, the velocity. The L-Star also got a nerf, I believe. L-Star will reset its view kick pattern much more quickly to avoid horizontal recoil, feeling like it goes in a sort of like unpredictable direction while feathering the trigger when you're just going on and off. Now, reduced time before overheat goes down from 2.4 to 2.2, aka 25 shots to 23 shots. So they kind of fixed the recoil a little bit, but then they also made it so you actually overheat a little bit quicker, from 25 shots to now 23 shots. Moving on to the Kraber special weapon, increased headshot damage multiplier from 2.05 to 3.0. That's a huge buff. Now it should always down a target with a headshot, even if they're like a super fortified character with a level 3 purple helmet and a full Evo shield. Now as far as sniper ammo goes, kind of unfortunate they nerfed that a little bit. They reduced the ammo per pickup from 10 to 8, as well as they reduced the inventory stack size from 20 to 16. Also, limb shots on low profile legends now deal as much damage as body shots, which is a huge change. I assume what they mean by low profile legends is like physically smaller legends who are harder to hit, like their legs, like Pathfinder, for example. His leg shots I think would count as body shots versus like Gibraltar wouldn't. Now, as far as the massive Revenant buff that we got that a lot of people were asking for, they said they noticed, and as far as the Revenant buff goes, here they are. So first off, for silence, they increased the duration of his status from 10 seconds to 20 seconds. They doubled it, huge buff on that. Silence also now disables Gibraltar's gun shield, which is a huge buff because there's a lot of people playing Gibraltar right now. They also increased the duration of area of effect from 5 seconds to 10 seconds, again, which is doubling that. And silence has 2 charges now. This is a massive buff for Revenant, which in my mind was totally needed. I just wish they had done it a little bit earlier. And as far as the death totem goes, his ultimate, characters are now respawned with 50 health or whatever health they had when they activated it, if lower, instead of 1. And then they also removed low profile on him. Now, as far as Lifeline goes, Lifeline actually got a buff. Now has a secondary passive. Lifeline can access secret compartments with more loot on blue bins. I talked about this in another video. I'll link it in the description or somewhere on the screen. Blue bins, I made a whole video about them. Blue bins are found randomly replacing ordinary bins. These rare bins will have a secondary compartment that only Lifeline can open. The secondary compartment will always contain some sort of a mixture of health items, weapon weapon attachments and knockdown shields. Now Wraith actually got a pretty significant, nothing too crazy, sort of a nerf. Portals will now disappear after 4 seconds if both ends are outside of the circle. This change was made to combat players exploiting the portal to avoid them taking damage outside the ring. So for some of you guys who exploited that, it wasn't really a glitch or anything against terms of service, but that's unfortunate and makes Wraith a little bit less powerful, which I can totally understand. Now Evo armor reduced the amount of damage required to evolve. You guys probably know how Evo shields work, but if you don't, the more damage you do, the more shield you get. So blue armor damage requirement reduced from 100 down to 75, big buff on that. Purple armor reduced from 300 to 150, and red armor reduced from 500 to 400. So huge buff to blue and purple Evo armor. I'm excited for that and to see how that plays out, especially in the pro scene. Also King's Canyon, and of course King's Canyon After Dark, they increased the total amount of loot that spawns on the map. That's crazy. They just straight up increased the amount of loot. I love that. A lot of people were asking for that. I talked about that on my podcast with iLoot Games, Jerry Miles, and my brother Sethley. So I think that's absolutely awesome. Honestly, I love this update. Update 4.2 Apex Legends. Thank you so much. A lot of this is what Apex needed. Now this video's notification squad shout out goes to Josh Poston. If you want the next video's shout out, all you guys got to do is comment Noti Squad or Notification Squad. Subscribe if you guys are new and turn your bells on to stay up to date on all things Apex Legends. Click like if you enjoyed it. It only takes 2 seconds. It's been Quadum FT or Caleb, and I'm out. Peace.